Drake's got the people talking online after dropping a very cryptic Instagram post. The boy said, you know, I grew up non-confrontational and always treated this game as part of a sport where my pen won gold. But these days, the podium has been hard for all of us to ignore. I understand that this next chapter may leave you feeling uneasy, but I hope you see my honesty as clarity, not charity, that answers some questions, especially about the unanswered texts you've been sending me. If I read that the right way, it kind of seems like it could be a part of a verse that's coming out. I don't know what Drake means by this. I have absolutely no earthly idea. I'm incredibly curious as a fan of music just to see what's the next step for an artist that's had such an eventful calendar year, involved in a very public feud with Kendrick Lamar that most believe Drake lost. What does he mean by I grew up non-confrontational, but the spot in hip hop at the top of the podium these days is hard for us to ignore? Does that mean Drake's gonna go and double down on dissing, or is he stepping away from that space and going back to the boy that we once knew, which was an R&B superstar, a guy that was vulnerable on records, that was one of the best rappers whenever he decided to do that? But again, there used to be a point in Drake's career where we literally turned Drake into a verb. The biggest attribute that he had going was that he was vulnerable. We used to literally say, don't drink and drive, okay? Just to kind of put in perspective how vulnerable this dude is. What does Drake mean by this very cryptic Instagram post? Can't wait to see. Here's what I will say. Look, I can't imagine what it's like to be Drake. You know, you got hundreds of millions of dollars. Even in your wildest of dreams, I'm sure Drake has eclipsed pretty much everything he sought out to do in his one lifetime. Access to billions upon billions of dollars. Pretty much everybody on God's green earth knows who he is. He's a global phenomenon. Records that people literally sing from one state, one country, one continent to the next. I don't know what it's like to be anything close to that, where you don't trust anybody, where you don't know what to believe in or who to believe in. By the way, it doesn't seem like to be a guy that's overly religious or sacrilegious to one area. I don't know. I don't know what life like Drake could be, especially coming from that underdog role and being at the top of the podium for so long. I don't know. I have no earthly idea what it would be like to be somebody like that. All I would say is this, as a guy that has a lot of friends and some guys that I've been knowing for over 25 years, and a wife, right? And everything that I've had came before success, and I'm still not at the pinnacle of my career, even though I've had success. I'm happy I found mines early. I'm talking about more than just wifey. I'm talking about like people that you could count on. I've seen people show their true colors, and some of my friends have been there for me in my lowest of lows. I just can't imagine if I felt like everybody in my life wanted something from me. Not saying Drake feels that way, but sometimes from the music of recent, he alludes to things like that. Let me know your thoughts. What type of music do you think we're getting next from Drake? If you're reading into DJ Academics, clear as day, we're getting a solo project from Drake. Ak has clearly been in communication with him, or at least putting it out there as if he's been in communication with him. Let me know your thoughts on what project we'll get from Drake next. More vulnerable or more flashy and flexy? I don't know if he can go back to that vulnerable place. And in this era of social media and headlines, and we know he cares, I don't know. Curious to see though. Time, love, and support is what your boy never take for granted. Salute. I'm out. If you love flexing your sports knowledge, you should head over to the best place to play fantasy sports and win some money while you're at it. That's Underdog. For me, I love the pick'em game. It's super simple to play too. All you got to do is go to the Underdog website or app. You got to pick whether a player will have a higher or lower stat line for that specific game. You get your picks right, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. And when you sign up, if you use your boy's promo code, which is Ferro, Your deposit will get matched up to $1,000 is available to you in bonus cash. You can't beat that. Tap in with Underdog. My promo code is Ferro.